There are fewer COVID hospitalizations today, but the urgent effort to create more COVID ICU beds in Arkansas appears to be ramping up. Thanks for joining us at 5. I'm Bob Clausen.
And I'm Laura Monteverdi. The governor said at one point today there were no open ICU beds available for COVID patients.
KARK 4's Mitch McCoy joining us now live in Studio B, tracking some of these numbers that one's telling us one story, the other the other.
And he also asked the governor why there are no COVID ICU beds open when plans have been underway for weeks, Mitch, to make more room.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack, everyone. Good evening to you. Within the last hour, I just talked with the state, and they said that there's actually one hospital in far southeast Arkansas that has a very limited capacity for COVID ICU beds. It is changing by the hour. Earlier today, the governor saying at one point there were no COVID ICU beds available. Health officials telling us today that virus patients make up about half of the state's ICU beds. While ICU beds for COVID infected patients is down to just a few, maybe even zero at times. There's a limited number of ICU beds available for non-COVID patients. That number stands at 18. It's not just about the number of beds, though. There are just not enough nurses and doctors to staff those ICU beds, creating a major ripple effect. A couple of weeks ago, the governor and Department of Health said they were making plans to create more COVID ICU bed space. He says they put most of those plans into motion, but now the situation has changed again.
We put in millions of dollars in expanding ICU bed space for COVID patients as well as other bed space. Some of those are still in progress. Unity Health has not brought theirs online yet, and so we've got more coming.
All of this happening while the state reports 44 fewer hospitalizations since yesterday. That's bringing our state's total number of hospitalizations to 1,367. Health officials say the school year that just started plus the upcoming holiday will be the ultimate test for Arkansas's healthcare system. And while there's that urgent push to create bed space for COVID patients in Arkansas, Baptist Health late today announcing that they will be opening up several COVID beds, including that ICU bed that's critically needed in our state. KARK 4's Jessica Rank is live outside Baptist Health with those numbers. Jessica?